Views expressed in the videos are my observation, analysis of events, persons based on principles of astrology. It's not my intent to predict, forecast absolute outcomes, only suggest how they may unfold. Nothing is set in stone. I could be wrong, but often I'm right. My desire is not to promote fear, only inform about what we see unfolding. It is our wish to prepare our subscribers for events that could affect them, their family, their goals, and their future, to help to prepare for what you may already suspect is happening, and to send a warning shot across the bow and raise a flag of concern. Our goal is to help, not hinder, in these perilous times, to inspire and offer possible direction, and to reveal that a greater plan and purpose are behind all that is happening. Eventually, we will see a brighter day. If you would like to show your appreciation for our work on these videos or this channel, and also the Knowing Whispers channel, you can always click on the word thanks at the bottom of all the videos. Hello everybody, it's Robert Cosmar of the Astrology of Life YouTube channel and the 3 Substack newsletters, Knowing Whispers, Messages from the Universe, Trump and America, and Ask the Astrologer. Today my video is called Harris and Waltz, the Dynamic Duo. And what I'm going to do in this video is to try to give you an overview of their relationship and of why we see such a dynamic response occurring before our very eyes in America in regards to her being placed in this situation, and then her choice of Tim Waltz as her vice presidential candidate. And in this particular video, I'm going to start off here with an image that's kind of a comparison. On the left here, you have the interior chart of Kamala Harris, with the outer circle being the chart of Tim Waltz in comparison. And then over here you have kind of a synastry comparing the 2 persons' planets with each other. And it reveals quite a lot. I have to admit that when this first came out, I kind of scratched my head and wondered for a little bit, okay, what's this all about? Because I was kind of leading towards Buttigieg as a possible running mate to complete the package, so to speak, of the needs of America. But as I began to look at the comparison of these 2 charts, I began to see what the potential is here and why it is that we're seeing happening what is happening. It's almost like when you're talking about Trump and Joe Biden, because of the age issue, that a large body of voters were either not interested, not talking, not certain what they were going to do, who they were going to vote for. You know, almost kind of an apocalyptic type state of mind where everybody was resigning themselves to the fact that, well, this is it. But this situation with Kamala Harris being put in a situation where she is the front runner for the Democratic Party has put new life into the Democratic ticket. And then adding Governor Waltz into the scenario has seemed to put even more energy into it. They actually look like a dynamic duo, a political dynamic duo, contrary to all of the lies, the garbage, the misrepresentation, the deception, the deceit, you name it, that has been so long, you know, since about 2016, coming from Trump's mouth in particular, and then also the MAGA crew that's in the Congress and elsewhere. So what is it that I see about this relationship? I have to put Kamala Harris's chart on the inside here because she has an exact birth time. With Governor Waltz, we don't. But right off the top, okay, the thing that I noticed here that was particularly interesting You'll see here that Kamala Harris's Saturn is about 4 degrees off of exact, or maybe 3.5 degrees off her midheaven. And you see here that Governor Waltz's Saturn is 1 degree off that midheaven. Now, for me, both of their Saturns being this close to her midheaven implies that they both have a very strong managerial grip on what they want to do. He'll support her, okay? He'll be able to help her in the process of organizing, getting things done, accomplishing the aims and objectives, the platform of the Democratic Party. It's also significant, too, that when you look down here, okay, in Kamala Harris's 4th house, she has a conjunction down here of Uranus and Pluto. And also in that particular, okay, house, Governor Waltz also has that particular placement of Uranus and Pluto. For me, this represents that both of them, I feel, are very revolutionary in the way that they want to accomplish things. Okay? Essentially, that's what the aspect of Uranus and Pluto means, is revolution. And I think that probably what we're going to see happening, if everything moves properly in this direction and there's nothing that happens that's not out of the ordinary, that they stand a very good chance of being a very dynamic leadership team for the country, that if it will continue to do this, okay, it could snowball and get better and better and better. There's a poll out today that I read that said that Kamala Harris is now something like 5 points ahead in this particular poll over Donald Trump. It seems to be that Donald Trump is starting to panic because of all of this attention, all this energy that's starting to manifest around Kamala Harris and her vice president choice. But it ain't over yet. Okay, it ain't over until they come around third base and slide into home base. So while we're enjoying this turn of events and this refreshing kind of relief from the stress and the strain of Donald Trump, there is more to come. I'll get into that. I think my next video is going to be about around the 13th to the 19th of this month, August. There is some very critical events that are going to occur and have an impact upon Donald Trump. Okay, and I'll get more into that particular chart and that particular time and talk about that in my next video. So if he thinks it's starting to look bad right now for him, all right, it's not going to get much better going into the middle of the month. Okay, and there is a possibility that what we see happening right now could be a reversal of this dark energy that we've had to deal with for almost 6 years now. But I won't make a definitive Donald Trump is done statement at this point, because there's still a lot of time, and he's got all kinds of dirty tricks. Okay, let's get a little bit more personal here about the relationship between Kamala Harris and also the governor, because there are some indications in the comparison of some problematic areas. I think the fact that his Jupiter conjuncts her moon is very good. If you ever had a Jupiter moon conjunction in your experience, and I'm going to say that all of you have at some point, it's a very pleasant period. It's a period in which everything just seems to be going well. All right. His Jupiter, okay, to her moon, very positive, very supportive, very friendly, easygoing. The type of situation you would want in almost any relationship, whether it's a friendship or it's a working relationship. It's a good, strong, healthy aspect to have between two people. Okay, it minimizes the amount of conflict that can often happen. When I take a look at the comparison over here of these two charts, all right, you'll see here that there aren't really any strong aspects coming from Pluto, okay, to either person. There are some, like here, this is a sesquicate quadrate, and there could be another one, a semi-square down here. But they're not squares, and they're not oppositions, they're not conjunctions, okay? So there's no real indication here that there's going to be an issue of control, okay? But there could be some problems in communication. You'll see up here that his Mercury opposes her Mercury. So they're not going to always see eye to eye, or they could have a difficulty in communicating. You know, like any relationship, you kind of have to find out the little idiosyncrasies of both persons and to try to see how to work with the person so you minimize the friction, okay? The other area of concern here, I feel, in regards to the vice presidential candidate, if in fact they win the election, this Jupiter here also opposes her sun, all right? This is a situation where an individual may attempt to do more than what maybe they need to do, okay? A situation where, as a result of that, they could feel underappreciated. And I say that because also over here, if there is a flaw in the relationship between Kamala Harris and Governor Waltz, it's her Saturn squares his Venus, okay? This Saturn up here squares Venus in the chart here, in the chart of Kamala Harris. Here we go, in the 12th house here. So this again is one of those situations where Saturn, representing limitations, restrictions, difficulties, and problems, okay, squaring his Venus, pleasure, okay, harmony, balance, and things of this nature. They're both pretty strong personalities, and this is fairly obvious. Their energy, if you watch any of their group meetings and stuff, is very dynamic, and people are very attracted to it. I mean, it's like, I suppose it's in some ways like a religious salvation experience, you know, or a fundamentalist church service where everybody's emotionally, you know, high. And of course, all this karma has to play itself out. And they've already started to attack Governor Waltz on his military record. And that seems to be a lot of lies. Okay. But the big thing here, like I said, has to do with their communication. It has to do with striking a balance between her being the president, him being the vice president, and how is his role defined, and are they able to come to an agreement as to what that role is and what it should be. I mean, everything appears to be that they have very strong placements to be able to work together and also to have a successful, supportive relationship with one another. But there will be issues regarding communications, and also whether or not the governor, soon to become hopefully vice president, feels underappreciated for the role that he has and the work that they need to do if in fact they do win the election and they begin, you know, focusing upon the things that America needs and that they want. You know, this is very good down here for a lot of progressive values, ideas, okay, in regards to the people. You know, there won't be a lot of judgment and hate coming out of their end. It'll be a matter of what can we do, how can we heal, how can we accept each other and move forward and move beyond all this hate and these lies and everything. And I suspect that what we're seeing, you know, starting to see anyhow here too, is that more people are starting to see the contrast between the Democrats, their platform, the people that are campaigning for the presidency, and what it is that Trump and the MAGA group represent. It's a contrast that, for whatever reason, was lacking when Joe Biden was in charge. And nothing against Joe Biden. He made the choice to promote Kamala Harris to the position that she's in. And it's like the world couldn't wait for it to happen. You know, it's like a democracy got a shot of steroids because there was this, infection that was going on. So, still, there is a lot of time left, still around 3 months. Again, going through this particular month, the next video I'm going to do is about, I think, August the 13th through the 19th with Trump, okay, and a major issue that's going to come down the road in regards to him and his political party and his supporters. That should bring interesting information to light. And then I'll also be looking towards the, looking towards the situation with the Democratic National Convention in Chicago. And then next month, the situation of the sentencing of Donald Trump, if in fact that does occur at that point in time. And again, enjoy this moment because it is a wonderful moment to feel like that this dark cloud, has started to dissipate and we're starting to see sunlight come through, but it won't stay this way. It'll get uglier and it'll get dirtier before it actually, clears itself up. But we have a lot to be thankful for and a lot to be hopeful for with this. Okay, I pretty much have said everything I wanted to say here about the relationship between the two, why it is so dynamic. And this really, when I think about this, when I had missed originally in my original assessment about how strong the Rahu was in her horoscope and that Saturn in the 9th house, it's obvious that there was some hidden strengths there karmically that have started to come out and manifest. And we can just hope that it'll continue to do that. Okay, for those of you that are members and subscribers, for those of you that have made donations either sporadically or monthly, thank you so much. I will put out on the community section here sometime in the next few days when the next live stream this month's going to be, so that you can prepare for that. All right. Again, as I've said many times, CJ and I are very grateful for you for being with us. We're grateful for the 300 or more that have joined over the last 30 days. And I've talked a little bit before about this. A couple of years ago, all of a sudden I lost 300 subscribers just overnight. And I was under the impression that when YouTube changed their logarithm, that they did something that took away 300 right away. And of course, contacting them and trying to get the answer to that situation is impossible. They won't tell you. But with the situation here lately, with the Trump scenario, and also with all the other factors that are going on, there's been kind of a renewed interest in the work that we're doing, and we're thankful to be a part of that. Okay. Thankful to be able to keep you apprised of what it is that we feel is going on and of what that could mean, down the road. But again, I'll caution everybody that we still have a long way to go. And there's still plenty of dirt that Donald Trump has probably got somewhere in a little file folder. Okay, if this happens, this is what I'm going to do. So don't be surprised. Okay. All right. And again, I will be doing one more this month. Okay, this is the month of August, and then I'll be doing 2 in September, and then 4 in October before the election on November the 5th. Okay? Okay, from the love of my life, CJ, my spiritual partner, my best friend, okay, love of my life, we thank you again for your support. And for those of you that are newcomers to the channel, thank you for joining in and commenting. We have had a few trolls pop in every once in a while, but as I've said before, I tolerate no trolls. I'm not into what I'm doing here to argue and debate, okay, different sides politically to what's going on. just the facts, as Joe Friday used to say, just the karmic possibilities without making outlandish predictions. And I feel like that's what needs to be done. Okay, again, I'm not sure how soon I'll do the next video, but it'll be on the middle of this month, and more trouble for Donald Trump. Thank you for watching.